is we focus on the shape and appearance. As I told you before, that cervical burnout, caries usually shows a more divine and irregular radiolucency because it's a pathologic condition. So the borderline is irregular, that is often triangular in shape with the base toward the enamel surface. But in cervical burnout appears as a more diffuse, ill-defined radiolucent band near the cervical area of the tooth. So the outline is ill-defined radiolucent band, usually without clear borders due to anatomic variation or lack of dense structures in that region. And we both know that caries is the lesion will be visible in most projection as a true lesion because that is caries. So when you do the clinical examination, probing, maybe using sondation, you will find the hole or caries in the enamel. But cervical burnout might disappear or change in appearance with different angulations due to the beam's impact on this area. So what I want to say is, radiographically, you can make a difference between caries and cervical burnout by evaluating the irregular radiolucency in outline of the caries. Okay. The next one is, maybe this is your regular, limitation of apical and bite-wing radiographs in essex. Bite-wings are often the radiograph of choice for caries detection due to their interproximal visibility, but bite-wing still have limitations in assessing apical pathology. I mean, sometimes we want to know the depth of the caries. The depth of the caries. Is it extend to the pulp or the enamel extend only into the dentin? In that case, usually we evaluate the apical lesion. So, if we want to know if the caries extend into the pulp, we evaluate the apical lesion. If there's a lesion in the apical, then we can confirm the caries from enamel extend into the pulp. So we are not focusing on the depth of the caries in the enamel, in the crown, but we see in the apical lesion. So sometimes when we choose the radiography examination, we need to make an anamnesis and then clinical examination, and then we choose what kind of radiography examination that would be a perfect choice. Okay. So basically, radiography examination we choose after anamnesis and clinical examination. If we cannot sure the caries enamel extend into the pulp or only the dentin, we can choose apical lesion, periapical radiography, because we want to see the apical lesion. But when we evaluate in the clinical examination that the caries only enamel into the dentin, and we sure that it's only into the dentin, then we can choose right-wing radiography. Okay. Okay, that's all. Now